Hello, this is Mike with TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on your Flagstaff Superlite 29 RLBS travel trailer. I'm going to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things to get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A few things taken into consideration when we're parking. On our campsite, we're going to leave room for the slide, awning, and an awning off that slide. So leave quite a bit of room on your campsite. On your off campsite, you also have a couple of slides. But what I also want you to think about is where your power and water connections are going to be. Your power cord is going to plug in all the way on the rear on your off campsite, and then your docking station is going to be right behind your slide on your off campsite. So park accordingly so you can utilize the facilities at the campsite. Once we arrive and unhook our hitch, first thing we do is level our unit. Unit comes with a power tongue jack. Night docking light, should you arrive at night, simply raise or lower the unit to your level. On your unit, your door is pretty close to the middle. Good idea, just throw a level inside there, or you can buy stick-on ones. Pretty cheap in our store. Anyway, get a level in there. Go ahead and get this thing level. Once it is level, we'll go ahead and stabilize it. Now, should you lose power underneath this rubber stopper, there's a hand crank that will get this up and down without power. Speaking of power, check your battery posts every now and then. Make sure those haven't wiggled loose over time. All right, once we got our unit level, the next thing we're gonna do is stabilize it. All four corners of your unit have these powers. On the other side, excuse me, that's my docking lights. Power stabilizing jacks. We're simply gonna hit extend. Now, as these come down, you do want to keep an eye on these feet. Make sure you kind of keep them loose so they'll come down flat. Sometimes they may set up like this and come down crooked, but keep an eye on them when you run them down. And they recommend stabilizing jack pads. Jack pads are going to protect the feet of your stabilizing jacks from dirt, debris, and hot blacktop in the summer. Better distribute the weight. Grab a 4-pack of those from the store, put them down underneath these, and run these down just until they're taut. Once it feels like it's going to start lifting the unit, stop. Remember, we're already level, we don't want to change that. Get all 4 of those down, 2 in the front. Show you where they are in the rear here. Extend down here. The same thing, I'll put them back up. 2 in the front, 2 in the back, get our unit level and stable. Then we can hook up our power and water. Big long 50 amp cord. Now, the way these plug in now is they come in at say 10 o'clock there, 11 o'clock, wiggle it to the right till straight up and down at noon, and put on your black washer. Now at the end of that 50 amp service, a lot of camps are only 30. You'll get a dog bone in your convenience pack. It'll bring you from 50 down to 30. And also a 30 to 15 amp reducer in case you need to plug into a 110. Get your power hooked up, let's hook up your water. Your docking station is pretty simple. At campsites, we're gonna hook up to a city water connection. First and foremost, a water pressure regulator. These water pressure regulators are gonna reduce the water pressure to 40 to 50 PSI, protecting the lines in your unit. You don't know what the water pressure is at different campsites, so it's always good to use these. Hook this up. Hook up the hose, but don't turn your hose on yet. Let's find your hot water heater. It was simple, right here. And all we're doing at this point, folks, make sure our drain plug's back in there. Get some plumber's tape around that, get that in there nice and snug. Then we can go ahead and turn that hose on. Now we're gonna go inside, open up our slides, get in there and open up all of our water taps. Get a nice steady flow of water going through them, you know, all the air out of the lines, showers, everything, then shut them off. And you're all set to camp. Now let's say we're going to go dry camping, or boondocking they like to call it. Well, in that case, we'll fill up our freshwater tank, which is just below our city water. No need for a water pressure regulator here, just gravity fill this with a hose. There's 2 ways to tell it's full. One, there's an overflow valve right here, or 2 on the inside where you check the levels of your black and gray tanks. There's also a freshwater button. Hold that freshwater button down, keep an eye on it while you're filling it. Once it is full, go ahead and remove that hose, and then whenever you want to utilize that water, you'll turn on your water pump. Don't turn on your water pump and hook to city water, that's already pressurized. All right, we're all set to camp, power and water. Let me go ahead and walk you around the rest of the unit. I'll continue here in this docking station. So cable or satellite up here. We've got our city water connection, our tank flush. We'll talk about that when we dump our black and gray tanks. And this is where your antifreeze inlet goes when you winterize it. Bypass your hot water heater first. Freshwater inlet. Got a nice docking light. Again, your hot water heater. One thing on this, if it doesn't seem to be working, come look and see if either one of these are bubbled up. If they are, just simply press them back in. That's a reset button. Close with one hand. There we go. Down below that's gonna be where we dump our black and gray tanks. There's a hot and cold shower. Food for your furnace. Couple things on that. One, make sure it's never blocked. Two, if you are running your furnace, steer clear of that. It does get hot. There's also bug guards you can get on those. Wiper sills. Go ahead and get a spray can of the lubricant that keeps these nice and pliable. You want to keep them flexible over the years. You don't want them dry rotting on you. That's going to add to the longevity of your trailer. There is a vent for your stove area. Nice outdoor storage area here with slam locks. That is the hole to manually bring your slides in and out with that hand crank. Get to that underneath there. Again, power. Spare tire has a cover. Look in there every now and then, see what kind of shape it's in. You do have a ladder, utilize it. Go up there a couple times a year, check the seams of your roof and caulk as needed with recommended RV roofing caulk. Around all your components over there, up there, your seams around the edges, everything. You're prepped for a backup camera. Device you can purchase, it sits on the dash of your tow vehicle. Another device attaches on here, gives you a backup camera for the unit. Accessory hitch and limits are there. Again, our stabilizing jacks. You got an awning over here as well on your slide here. What it does, it gives you more area over here when it takes away part of it by putting a slide over here. Your awnings, you only want to run them out until you can see your flap there. Those will start running themselves up backwards if you needed. You do have a pitch adjust. Say it's sprinkling, you just want to run the rainwater off from it. Just tilt that down and that's going to tilt your awning. These awnings are not made for rainstorms or high winds. Recommended to bring them in either one of those cases. Got a couple outdoor speakers here in this entertainment center. Inside here is a griddle. These are the metal legs that hook to it by some bolts on the bottom. Instructions inside. That will attach right here. Underneath there's a quick connect LP for it. That's going to leave you with the table there, as well as a removable TV stand, cable and 110 for that. Nice spot for your manual override for the hand crank. Same thing on these. You can pull this rubber off here and put a hand crank on that to get them up and down if you lose power. Prepped for solar. You can plug in a solar panel right there and it'll trickle charge your batteries. Speaking of batteries, again, I said check your post every now and then, make sure nothing's wiggled loose. Your propane comes with a cover, is on a regulator. Lefty loosey to open, point it toward the tank you wish to be using. Green means you've got gas. I like to go one tank at a time. That way I know how much I've got left. I can switch back over to this one and then go get that one filled up. Down underneath here is going to be your battery disconnect. That is going to disconnect all the battery power to the unit. That'll come important later when I talk about your carbon monoxide and propane detector. And that about covers everything out here. We'll take a look on the inside. Alright, coming up in the unit, one thing I want to tell you about these steps, bringing them up or down, you do want to make sure this exterior door is open, otherwise this will catch on it. Coming up in the unit, first thing I always like to point out your fire extinguisher. Make sure that you and everyone that's camping with you knows the fire extinguisher is located by the entry doorway in case of an emergency. Immediately right in your face as you come in is your control panel. We'll start up top with just a couple stickers up here. Tire pressure monitoring system. You can either scan that or you can watch the video that I'm going to send you on that tire pressure monitoring system. It comes in your unit. Shows you how to hook the whole thing up from them. Below that, Go to the app store and get the Your RV app, or We RV app, excuse me. Attach this to your phone. You set outside, bring your slides in, your awnings, your lights, all that good stuff. All right, so we're still working on your unit here. We got checking all of your tanks here. So here's your, shows how much is in your freshwater, your black, and your gray tank. Over here shows your brand new battery. And here's your awning light, step light, interior light 2, which is pretty much accents. Bedroom lighting, Bluetooth connection where you can connect this whole thing to your phone. Wi-Fi booster, I will send you a thing from Forest River on how to connect that up. It's very cool. Here's where you turn on your water heater. If hooked to gas, your water heater if hooked to electric. It does make a difference. Please choose correctly. Over here is where you turn on your water pump when utilizing that fresh water. Over here is where you turn on your tank heater. What that is a little 12-volt pad that's on your tank. Down below, if you're going to be in inclement weather, you think your tanks might freeze, turn on your tank heater. It's the only time you really want to turn that on, when it's really going to be cold. Awnings, again, I told you on your awnings. Number 1 is the front, or in this case it'd be the back of the unit, and number 2 is the front one here. Show you that coming back in. Again, our awning lights, shut them off. You only want to run them out until you see that flap. If you keep running this all the way out and hold that extend button down, it will start to run itself up on back to itself and start to run itself up backwards. So keep an eye on it when you run it out. Don't run it out further than you need to. And then lastly on here is our slide controls. We'll utilize those when closing the unit up. Here I'll tell you that these doors, or slam locks, work best when gently slammed. Alright, same wall all the way down to the ground is your breaker box and fuses. You've got a ton of 15s and I see A30, 130. I highly recommend having a handful of those with you when you go camping. We're into the unit around the corner. I'm going to go ahead and show you your thermostat working. Let's go into system and crank the air up. Turn the temperature down. You hear the AC kick on. Now these also have a quick dump that'll blast the cold air down here first. Go back into system, go all the way to off. You'll see that generally the AC system shut off kind of quickly. There we go. Now when I do heat, which I'll only do for a moment, just crank it up. There should be a return down here. Now you'll notice when I shut the heat off, just one more click to off, it does take a few minutes for that fan to cycle through for those to shut off. So pretty easy system to use. In here, self-explanatory microwave. Covers with a cutting board and drying rack, sink, extended magnetic. Plumbing, keep an eye on this. It's almost all PEX nowadays, but if you do travel a lot in this and bounce it up and down the road a lot, maintain your trailer by maintaining the plumbing. Feel in there for any moisture. Feel something, tighten something down. All right, we got lights and fans above our cooktop here. This glass top makes an excellent backsplash. Turn on my panel light, turn this to high, hit my spark, there's my flame. All three of these light up the same way. Same thing with your oven. Go to your light here, hit your spark here, that will light your pilot light, and then just turn it to your desired temperature. You don't have to get in there to light it anymore. Light it with this spark, rock that panel light down, it becomes an oven light. Your fridge, Magic Chef fridge, has a safety latch. This is going to keep this from bouncing open on you going down the road. Settings are inside for both. There's your water filter, LP hose for your griddle outdoors. So it comes arrived behind your TV. Snap out, push down on that. Tons of storage. But more importantly, your antenna is this little green light right here. So when you arrive at the campsite, before you run your digital channel scan on these TVs, make sure that antenna is on. Lock that back up in there. Grab your remotes. Again, on your television, go into the menu, run a digital channel scan. You pick up all the local channels of whatever park you're at.
75 pounds of Gullo.
Down below that, sound system. Switch to FM. Oh, I just shut it off actually. Turn it back on. Let's go to FM. I gotta pick up much in this metal building, but 2 zones on the music, indoors, outdoors, AM, FM, Bluetooth. Turn it back on in here. AM, FM, Bluetooth, auxiliary, nice little sound system. Remote for this as well. I'm just gonna touch it while I'm down here. I can go through and show you all the pretty colors on this fireplace, but the biggest thing, folks, is the heat. Get to the heat, get it cranked up in here. If it's chilly in here in the morning or evening, if you're at a campsite, save your gas, shut your gas off, or just don't use your thermostat. Turn this on. This electric heater will get it toasty in here in no time. It does take a couple minutes for that fan to cycle through when you shut it off as well. Charging ports and USBs on both sides of our sofa. This is your 12-volt carbon monoxide propane detector. The reason I mention that's 12 volt, that is always running off your battery. So if you are out dry camping, nothing plugged in charging your battery, no solar panels plugged in, if you're going to be gone for the day, use your battery disconnect up there on the tongue to keep this from running your battery down. Show you quickly how to turn your sofa into a bed. Start by removing your Velcro cushions. Stand in the middle, gives you good leverage. Flip them out, go up and toward you, and then lay the back down. And just that quickly, you've got another bed. Just remember, putting everything back, you have to lift the back up first. If you lift that front up, you're going to damage your sofa. Again, stand in the middle, hold these legs in, jackknife this down, watch your fingers, put your cushions back, and just that quickly we are back to a sofa. Going around to our recliners, got a pop-up power station here. Fold this up, come on down, this is a lumbar. Bring your lumbar forward and back. This is recline. I call it a parachute pull. It's what it kind of reminds me of. Bring this back down, bring it down yourself. Make sure you hear it click. That way you'll know it's in. 4 chairs with a table extension. Pull out, lift up, and push forward. That's how that'll lock in there. Real easy system there. All of our chairs do have storage as well. One touch lighting for that. Coming down the hallway into our bathroom, want to mention you've got a 110 with GFCI reset right here. Flush your toilet a couple times, put a couple gallons of water down in your black tank when you first arrive. Your black tank will thank you later. We do have a hand crank open power exhaust vent here. More plumbing to check on. Here's your access panel. a square head screw will get that out of the way for you. Shower. Make sure that you have this shower door snapped closed for traveling. Got a little lock here that you want to lock back for traveling. Brings us into our bedroom. Talk about this lighting real quick. Touch it once. Gives you your light. Over here on the wall, 110 with the inverter circuit. Here's your inverter in case you are driving camping and need some 110 power brought into the unit. There's a charging port. Underneath your bed, I'm trying to get a hold of this, are these drawers, but also access to that back storage area. So make sure that that storage area stays locked, because that allows access into your unit from under your bed. Another charging port back here. Huge closet. On the wall is our lighting. This is a temperature reader. It helps the thermostat work better. This is one-touch lighting here. I think that about covers everything in here. Let's act like we're leaving the campsite and get ready to close the unit up. Go in your bag here, check out all your manuals, read all your manuals on all your appliances, see if there's some paperwork you might need to file for a manufacturer's warranty from just them itself. But other than that, let's close the unit up. I like to start by coming to my control panel and shutting off all my interior lights. That way I know any other lights that are on, I have to walk through and shut off by hand. Just accent lights. Then, going back, find out where the light is, island light here. Turn my interior back on. On the end of this island is our lighting and another 110. Do have an extension here. Make sure you have that back down when we get ready to bring in our slides. Alright, so we went through and shut off all the accent lightings. Doors and drawers. That's what I like to say. Walk through the unit, make sure all doors and drawers are secure. Nothing's going to impede our slides from coming in. Put everything away. Slide one, getting in. Just going to bring in our campsite slide. I do want you to hear that little noise. That is the slide mechanism saying I'm in all the way. You don't have to bring me in any further. Again, I want to bring in slide 2 first on this unit. That way you can watch everything over here. But see how that utilizes all that space? You got to make sure all those drawers are closed. We don't need to be breaking things just because we're bringing our slides in. And slide 3 is our bedroom. Again, making sure nothing's in between that bed and them dressers. Turn the lights in there so you can see that coming in. Which brought me to something that I missed in the bedroom. I'll touch on here real quick. Up here is your Go Power solar controller. The whole purpose of this is to keep your solar panels from overcharging your batteries. 13.6 is fine. That's about where you want to be on a 12-volt battery. Your only concern on this is to keep that at flooded. There's a video coming from GP Electric along with this video to explain how to use that. It's really simple. You just hold B down. That is going to flash the different kinds of batteries. Touch B will change you through the battery. Stop it flooded and hold the A down. That'll lock that in. It's pretty easy. Prep for a TV over here. Here's your backer. There's your cable and 110 in your bedroom. All right, we've got all of our slides in. Shut off our lights and exit the unit. Again, on these steps, make sure this exterior door is all the way open. Steps are also adjustable. All you have to do is press up on this and then bring the leg up and down. This will pretty much bring itself up in there. Make sure you push it all the way back. Now before you leave the dump station, lock and deadbolt, lift and turn. That's how you want that door to go traveling down the road. All right, if we are out dry camping, we are going to bring up our stabilizing jacks. Get up underneath here and dump our freshwater drain, which is that big white handle. Hook up our hitch and head on to the nearest dump station or home, whatever we're in need of. If we're at a campsite, we'll unhook our power, our water, our cable, bring up our stabilizing jacks, hook up our hitch, and head on up to the dump station. At the dump station, park accordingly. Your dumps can be about 6-7 feet in front of your tires. 10-foot hose comes to your convenience pack. Park accordingly. Hook that up and pull that black handle. When they're on the left, that's going to be your sewage. When it sounds like it's no longer draining, go inside, check the level of it. Looks empty or close to it, come back out here, leave that black handle open, come up here to tank flush, put that hose in there, again emphasizing with that black handle open, turn that hose on and let that wash all that nastiness out of your black tank. After a good 5 minutes of running that, remove the hose, make sure all that washout you put in there has drained, then close that black and pull your gray. While my grays are draining, we get inside here. If we're done camping for a while, we're going to lift up on the pressure release valve. That's going to dump a little bit of hot water out of there, so be careful. When that's done, go ahead and pull that drain plug down there for your residual hot water. Also get up underneath here and dump our low point drains. Go back behind the metal here, right above your gray handle. When that gray is done, close that gray handle, grab your sewage hose, and conveniently and sanitarily store it right here in your bumper and head on home. Again, we thank you guys so much for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this Superlite for many years to come. Happy camping.